spreading the gospel. Let the world see the love of Jesus setting us free from the mountains to valleys. Our voices proclaim.
Hey yo, what's good my brothers and sisters in Christ, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, I don't have any cool sound effects yet. Alright, so I gotta make them myself. Guys, today we are reacting again. We're back in the lab, as you can see, aka my kid's playroom. Dude, he loves this room. All right, we got like a ball pit back here. We've got all sorts of those like foam blocks and stuff. Dude, he loves it. Anyway, guys, today we are reacting to Cliffe Knechtle. All right, I had to really think about that so I didn't mispronounce his name. All right, Cliffe Knechtle's most intense debate. All right, obviously. Based on the thumbnail, this guy didn't even shake Cliffe's hand. Like, he was all sorts of upset with Cliffe. Shout out to my man. You know I like to shout out these channels. Bible Alive. Okay? Bible Alive. Go check him out. And if you like his content, go give him a sub. Because he made this cool video. It's a 27-minute reaction. Okay? Man. 27 minutes? Come on, man. But you know we're here for it. We love reacting to some good content, bro. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, without further ado, I'm not going to keep you waiting. Let's get into it.
Man, it's been good talking with you. I can't thank you enough. You don't want to shake my hand? All right.
Because you're just a
Oh, you want, wait,
professional
quick response.
debater.
Quick, I'm not a professional debater.
In this debate, an atheist student goes after Cliffe Knechtle's claims of morality and ethics. At the end, another atheist comes to calm the rising tensions. Make sure to stick around to hear each argument, then comment down below which one was the best. Now, let's get into the debate.
Basically, what y'all are saying is pretty much that without God, if you're an atheist, if you don't believe in God or any higher power, if you're not spiritual, then you have no ability to have morals.
No,
basically.
we never said that once. We would never say that.
Not that you don't have an
Sir,
ability.
I've been speaking for 40 years on campus, okay? I've never said that once.
Don't jump on me. Because
Yes, I will. When
made
you
a
misquote
error.
me, I will reject it.
If you're going to jump first, we got to jump second.
Yeah, we will jump. You're jumping and we'll jump, okay? So please don't misquote me. I have never once said atheists cannot live good lives. I've said the opposite. I've said my atheist friends live good lives. They have an understanding of goodness.
See, this is kind of my problem. This is where it gets wishy-washy with Cliffe. You got to stick to the gospel. And if you're sticking to the gospel, you can't say that an atheist can live a good life, right? Because we know that none of us can live a good life. That's the gospel. That is the root of the gospel, is that we are evil and we needed to be saved from our own wickedness. And then Cliffe just says this, where he's like, no, I have atheist friends that understand goodness. They live a good life. No, they don't. There's nobody that lives a good life. And it's not like I'm nitpicking everything that Cliffe is saying. It's just these guys, all these young kids, and Cliffe has such an influence on all of these people. All of these people, he has such a big influence. And he says some things like that. I know Cliffe understands the gospel. I know that. But when you're talking to people, it's so important, guys, so important to make sure that they know that it's not based on their goodness that gets them to heaven, because nobody is good. Therefore, if it was based on our goodness that gets us to heaven, nobody's going to heaven. What it's based on is all Jesus, and that's what I would love to hear Cliffe talk more about, because it's so important, guys, so important.
The question is, what is goodness? Who defines goodness? And if there is no God, the answer to that's real obvious. You define goodness, I define goodness, culture defines goodness, the power elite define goodness, but it's all relative, depending upon the individual, the culture, or the powerful people you're interacting with.
But that's how it is in general, all right.
No! Those are the different options.
No.
The individual, the culture, the power elite, or God.
Each person has the ability to choose their own morals.
Yeah, obviously, we all choose.
Every government of any body of people has their ability to choose the morals that they're going to put into law over the people that...
Obviously, we agree on that.
So that already
So this is my problem. There is no basis for morality from this atheist perspective. And I know Cliffe is really good about making this known, is that without God, there's no basis for morality because you don't have any rules or anything to subscribe to because you don't know that there are rules set in place. I hope that I explained that well. Guys, it is 4 a.m. where I'm at. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, man, I gotta just pump out some content. But what I'm trying to get at is that if there's no higher power, right? Think of it like this. If there was no cops, everyone would break the law, right? Because there's no repercussions for their actions. But because there is a governing authority, they subscribe to those rules because they are the governing authority. And guess what? If you're a governing authority, you have the power to administer a punishment. So it's that fear of the punishment that keeps everybody in line, right? So it's the same thing here. It's the same thing with God. So with this guy saying, oh, no, there's no, there's no God. Okay, then what's stopping you from taking, this person in the red shirt's life here for no reason? Right? There's no basis for that.
exists in real life.
Obviously that
individual
exists in
person
real life.
Has the ability
So
to
what
choose
on
their
earth
own
is your
morals.
point?
Well, you're saying that to be able to, you're saying that we should all have some sort of communal, morals.
False. Never said that once.
You're saying that we should get these morals derived from Scripture and from God.
False. Never said that once.
You just explain what you just said. The
Thank
last
you
thing
for
said.
asking.
Explain it again.
What I said was, if he says there is no mind prior to the human mind, no God, then it's obviously the human mind that creates and defines right and wrong, which means right and wrong are totally relative. They are a fantasy created in this handsome head, a fantasy created in this handsome head. I am not right, he's not wrong, he's not right, I'm not wrong. It's all relative. That is all we've been saying. Now, when you realize that, what you've got to say is, okay, I think it's wrong for him to stab him, but that's just my personal bias. If he chooses to say it's good to stab him, that's good for him.
Yeah.
No,
It's
wrong.
relative.
It's
It's
horrible
all
for him to
relative.
stab him.
Yeah, but it's all relative.
No, it's not all relative.
Is it wrong for you? Do you believe that it's wrong for me to just stab him?
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
I
but that's
believe
just
and what
his
you
relative
believe,
opinion.
It's everything's relative.
Exactly. So
that's
if
a
you
relative
believe
statement.
everything's relative,
Yeah.
live it out. So if I stab him, don't tell me that I've done something objectively wrong. Tell me,
By
from
the
your biased
standards- by the
perspective,
standards
me
of our
stabbing him is
society.
wrong.
By the standards of our society.
Good,
that's
and so
immoral
what
and
if
wrong.
we live in white South Africa? What happens if
Then the
we...
standards of that society are different than they are here.
Exactly, which means it's still all relative.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Which means don't get so upset about him stabbing him. Because it's just relatively wrong. It's not objectively wrong, it's just relatively wrong. So chill and let him stab him. Now, you can say it's wrong. But obviously, he says it's right.
But it's still relative.
Yeah, exactly, according from your view.
Person believes. So you're saying that the only reason that we believe that it's a general consensus that someone stabbing someone else is evil is because those are morals that we got from God?
Because morality is relative. For him to stab him, objectively, nothing wrong. But if he has been created with value, because there's a God who made him for a purpose, then it is evil for him to murder him. It's that simple.
Evil is relative. Evil is
No, it's
a matter
not.
of opinion.
When is the abuse of an innocent child ever good?
I'm saying we believe it's bad as a society, but an individual could still believe.
I could give a rip. In some societies, they think it's just fine to eat your babies. I think that society is wrong. I don't care what the culture says. It's wrong to eat your baby. Don't do
Okay.
it. Objectively wrong. I am convinced Dr. Martin Luther King was absolutely correct when he wrote the letter from the Birmingham jail that said, I really don't care what the great state of Alabama says. There's a law above the law of the great state of Alabama, and according to that law, segregation is evil. The only way he can say that is because he knows there's a God who creates all human beings in his image with equal value. Therefore, for you to denigrate somebody and have a racist attitude is not relatively wrong. It's absolutely wrong. Does that make sense?
But that doesn't prove anything.
Doesn't prove
because
anything, you're right. It's just calling you to be intellectually consistent, that's all.
No.
So if you're going to tell me morality is relative, then don't tell me that abusing innocent children is wrong. Don't tell me that racism is wrong.
But you're misquoting me. Because I said
I'm not quoting you. I said don't say. I haven't said it yet.
I'm saying don't say, and then whatever.
Don't think, okay? I'm not quoting you, okay?
So what you're saying is, well, okay, if each individual person has their own ability to choose their morals,
Yes.
each individual person can do that.
Yeah.
So it's all relative. So if we as a society believe that this thing is inherently wrong, if we as a society believe school shootings inherently wrong, racism inherently wrong, that's our beliefs as a society. That could be completely different than the beliefs of a society somewhere else in the world or of a society from the past.
Is our
But
society right and that other society that disagrees with us wrong?
It's all, I mean, it
Relative,
just depends
come on.
yeah,
It's all
relative.
relative.
It depends on the
So
society.
don't tell me there's any objective good or objective evil. It's all relative.
I never said that there was objective good or objective
Okay.
evil. There's
Then-
not.
Yeah, Cliff is doing a good job here. He's making the kid think. And this argument is perfect toward atheists because they can never answer it, right? They can't get over that hump of what is objective truth then? Is it bad to harm an innocent child? And if they say yes, where do you get that basis from? Because that's what you think, but what if Timmy over here thinks it is okay? Is Timmy right or are you right? And who's wrong in that situation? You know what I'm saying?
Don't get so
A society
upset
can
about
believe-
evil. Because evil is not objectively wrong, it's relatively wrong.
And you wouldn't go to India and those kids whose parents are breaking their bones, so they put them out on the side of the street so people can give the family money. You wouldn't dare, as an American, go down there and tell them that that's wrong, would you?
Because that's their culture.
And that's ethnocentric of you to do so. I hope you wouldn't do that, because that would be very inconsistent by what you are saying right now, not him misquoting.
The definition of ethnocentric is only from the standards of one's own society.
So you wouldn't do it.
Just because I'm telling them that it's wrong, I'm not saying you need to believe that this is wrong because
Good.
my society says you should believe that this is wrong. Saying I believe this is wrong,
And
that's
I don't
not saying
believe
it's
that you really
objectively
believe
wrong.
that. I do not believe that you really believe that. I don't think if you went down to help that poor child, that his parents did that to him, that you would come back here and be like, oh shoot, that was just my own cultural American morality again, and I cannot tell them that that was really wrong.
But that's the
I
truth.
think you would be pretty
That's the
dejected
truth
and
of the
feel
situation.
pretty bad about yourself.
But I wouldn't.
No,
That's the truth
you
of the
use
situation.
oughts and shoulds every day, I'm
That's the
sure.
truth of
Hey,
the
mom, you ought to have given me money for lunch today. Hey, brother, you should not have hit me today and pummeled me again. What are you appealing to when you say ought and should?
Y'all see how he's trying to make me? Oh, you should feel you would feel bad it coming back in this society, right?
Shoulds
Talking
and
over me.
oughts. Shoulds
And you've
and
talked
oughts.
over us as well, so it's a match. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I let you speak a lot.
But it's
Continue.
It's all relative to say that something is objectively wrong. It's objective based off of our society's beliefs.
And we're
Saying
saying
something
no.
is objectively wrong in general over the course of all of history,
Yes.
that is based off of our current society's beliefs.
And we're saying Abraham Lincoln was right when he led a civil war that said to the South, you are wrong. Enslaving African Americans is evil, and we're willing to die to stop it. What an arrogant bigot Abraham Lincoln was, or what a man in touch with reality, in touch with objective morals, that he would put it on the line and say,
Man, look at the guy on the rock up here. I love it because I've been watching the reactions of the crowd, and this guy up here, he's like shaking his head. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I love it that Cliff and Stewart go to these college campuses. It is so bold, guys, so brave to go to these college campuses where these kids have been almost indoctrinated, most of them. I don't want to say all of them because that's, yeah. But most of them have been indoctrinated by their professors that tell them that there's no way that God exists when even they can't prove it. They can't prove that God doesn't exist, and they can't prove that what they believe is true. Here's the difference, guys. You can look at creation and see that there is a creator. I mean, look at all these beautiful trees, the beautiful people all around here. Like, we are intelligently designed on purpose for a purpose, and that is to serve our Lord Christ. That's it. That's the only reason that we're here, guys. All right?
We're going to end slavery. You don't understand that? You're smarter. You understand what I just said to you.
At the time, society believed that slavery was, in general, a good thing.
Yeah,
During
and
the
Abraham
time-
Lincoln said
and-
no.
But there was also large groups of people during the time that believed that slavery was a bad thing.
Yeah.
So viewing that as an objective wrong, that's still just another example of the beliefs of the society at the time.
No, it's not. It is a claim that slavery is absolutely evil. Therefore, I am willing to put my life on the line to end it. It's not relatively evil. It's not me foisting my cultural bias on the Southerners. It is me holding to moral absolute. Slavery is evil.
But just because one person believes that doesn't believe that another person believes that.
That obviously.
It doesn't mean that another person thinks that that is the objective truth.
Obviously.
So how can there be an
So
objective
what?
truth if not everyone believes it? It's all
You got to be
relative.
kidding me. You honestly believe that in order for there to be an objective truth, everybody's got to agree on it? Are you serious? That is so scary. It's incredible. You think that unless I can get everybody to agree that the abuse of an innocent child is wrong, and then it's wrong, but if there are a few people who think abusing an innocent child is okay, that therefore it's okay?
I'm telling you, how is it objective if not everyone believes it?
Because objectively, you are created in the image of God. You have been given a value by God that culture and individual, the power elite, the intelligentsia cannot change. It is objectively true. You have value, which means that if anybody devalues you, that is absolutely evil. Objectively evil.
It's not about emotionally feeling it or emotionally just believing in it. No, it's the oughts and should above. It's appealing to a moral transcendent obligation and duties. Please go and check this out. Moral obligation and duties that we buy into. You're right, cultures are different. Cultures are different. There's honor killings in certain cultures. You're exactly right. But we still, every single person knows the value of a human being, that they have innate value and dignity. Even
But that's
cannibals,
not tied to
study
religion.
of,
That's not
of
tied to
cannibals, still,
religion.
you have to
That's not
dehumanize
tied to a higher
before
power.
you actually.
That's not
No,
tied
it's
to a
not
higher
tied.
power. That's not
No, no, no,
tied
no,
to
no.
religion.
Hindus, Buddhists, and Christians, Jews all say that this is tied to a god. They would differ on what god it is. But even when we talked to one of the top atheists who wrote the introduction, Oxford Introduction to Atheism, Julie Bagini, says that the moral argument is the toughest for an atheist to get around because it breaks into your life in such a way where there are moral oughts, shoulds, and duties in your life. And you know it and you live it out day to day.
But
And
when
you
I-
do not make it up. And the statement, when you started out here saying, oh, it's just relativism. Well, that's a relative statement. So why should I buy in to your statement of it's just all relative? That sounds very objective by you stating it's all relative.
No, I'm not saying that objectively, everyone believes their own beliefs.
How
Mic
about
drop.
Objectively, it's all relative.
Yeah, subjective.
No, everyone believes their own beliefs. Everyone holds their own
Subjective.
value system,
Yeah.
Yeah.
their own morals.
Yeah.
So the fact that there is an objective right and wrong, different societies throughout time have had a majority of people in societies have had a belief that a certain thing is right or
Right.
a certain thing is wrong
Right.
that we would think are completely different than
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. That's reality.
So
That's reality.
during those times, who was thinking, oh, these things are objectively wrong?
People who believed in God for thousands of years have understood God has given commands. He's given us a conscience, and we, by exercising that conscience, can understand what is morally true, good, and real. Therefore, if you try and sexually assault her, I'm going to try and physically stop you. Why? Because she has value, he has value, and when you sexually assault her, you're not like the baboons, you're not like the chimpanzees who do sexually assault each other. Male baboons and chimpanzees sexually assault female baboons and chimpanzees. You're not a baboon, you're a human being created in the image of God. God has created her not as a baboon or as a chimpanzee, but as a woman created in his image. And therefore, if you try and sexually assault her, I will physically try to stop you because I'm convinced it's objectively wrong, morally absolutely wrong for a man to sexually assault a woman.
So if you, from the perspective of believing in objective truth, like from your perspective, believing that there is an objective truth, of an objective right and wrong with certain situations,
Yes.
certain moral
Yes, sir.
quandaries, whatever.
Correct.
How you're basically saying that that is innately from a higher power, from God. That
If it's real.
we have an objective.
If it is real, there's only one way it can be, that there is some mind prior to his mind, prior to my mind, prior to her mind, that creates and defines her with value.
But if you look at evolution, how do you know that that's not just? I mean, you look at, in the most basic example,
Right.
you look at crabs, and
Right.
they hatch and they go to the moon. They follow the moon to the ocean.
Okay?
How do you know that it's not just something that we've developed over evolution, over time, that we have developed as humans to, hey, you know what? We innately believe that there is good, that there is value in each individual person. How do you know that that's not something that we've
Because that's
developed over
that's the
evolution
opposite
over
of what evolution teaches. It's the strong eat the weak. It's the powerful are in control. That's why Hitler picked up Nietzschean thinking, which was based off of evolutionary psychology, which says strong eat the weak. There is the Uberman. There is the powerful race. And so you never get morality, especially Judeo-Christian morality that you and I buy into every single day, out of evolutionary psychology. Would you?
Yeah, you could get.
How do you get serving one another? How do you get loving one another? How do you get sacrificing for one another? How do you get, hey, feed the starving, live for human rights, out of evolution universally?
Well, you're just getting it from a book that was written by.
No,
we're not getting from a
We
book.
never
I
mentioned
told
the
you
book
Hindus,
once.
Jews,
So
I
please
told you
stop
everybody.
doing that.
Yeah.
We never said the book Bible once.
That's
Not
what I
part
thought
of
you
our
were going
discussion
on.
right
Yeah.
now. We're talking about your conscience. We're talking about the way you experience life.
How do you
And
know
I
that
bet,
humans
although I
are
can't prove it,
inherently that way. If there's an objective,
If you're
right and wrong,
different, tell
how
me.
do you know that humans don't inherently believe that in general? How do you know that that came from some sort of higher power? And
it's
a
real
higher-
simple.
a higher
It's
power
real
is-
simple, sir.
A higher
If
power
you
is the
say
most-
there is no
is the most
God,
simple way
then
to
reality is
explain
matter
what
and
we don't
energy.
Understand. Believing in God, believing in a higher power, is the most human, simple way of explaining what we don't understand.
Baloney.
No.
I believe in
no,
God
no.
because God is the best explanation of what I see and observe. And what I'm trying to show you, sir, is what you believe is not the best explanation of why him sexually assaulting her is wrong.
When you look
Because
at the
baboons
beginning-
and chimpanzees do it all the time, and it's not wrong for them. It's an instinct they have. But I'm hoping, you're right, maybe I'm wrong, I'm hoping that you agree with me that for him to sexually assault her is not good. It's really, really
When you look at the
wrong.
beginning of every religion, it was all created by people trying to explain what they can't understand.
Baloney. Total baloney.
That is
Switching topics.
objectively the reality.
Oh, that's a cop-out, sir.
That's how
Total
religion was
cop-out.
created.
That's false.
But it's not.
People do not believe in God because they have to fill the gaps.
Yes,
Some people
because it
do,
was- no,
some
I'm not
people
saying-
do.
I'm not saying now. I'm saying in the past.
Oh, in the past, them
thousands-
ignorant people,
thousands-
right? No, baloney. Baloney.
People created religion to
People
explain what they
believe in
couldn't
God,
understand.
first
Because
of
that was
all,
before
because they
science
see
existed.
order and
That was before
design,
modern
and they
science.
say,
That was-
wow. Secondly, they understand there's a meaning to life, and they say, wow. Thirdly, they
You're describing
experience
reasons why
love,
someone might
and they
choose to
say,
join a religion.
wow.
You're
No.
explaining why-
If your worldview is correct, then love comes from right here, and energy. Matter and energy. Remember, if you say there is no God, all of reality is matter and energy. You don't get love from matter and energy. Love is a free decision of a will to care for
Religion
somebody.
was developed over time, explaining what people couldn't understand.
Baloney.
and then writing that down, and it was.
Sir, I believe in God because confronted by this man with order and design, I don't say, you're an accident. Why? Because accidents don't produce order and design. Accidents produce chaos. This is not chaos.
That's exactly right.
This is not chaos. This is amazing order and
Purpose,
design.
yeah. Yep.
Therefore, it is far more reasonable, plausible, to say, in the beginning, God, meaning by that intelligent mind, than it is to say, in the beginning, chance. You're a marvelous accident. Baloney. It's not a marvelous accident. There's too much order and design.
That's what science has. The whole
Science?
universe.
Oh, come on, sir. Now, I have one quick illustration for this science, because you keep on bringing up science. Sir, scientifically, I know that I can prove that if I put arsenic in Grandma's tea, she will die. Science. But the question is, in light of the fact that Grandma has a really big stock portfolio and really large bank account, should I drop arsenic in her tea tonight so I can get the inheritance tomorrow? Science says zero. Zero. No, you listen. Come on. Think with me. That's not the point. The point is, science is a study of process.
I bring up science, and then you just completely change the subject to another.
To science. What you brought up. I didn't bring up science. You brought it up. You've used the word a couple of times. So I'm trying to straighten stuff out here. All right? Science can answer the question, what happens if you drop poison in Grandma's tea? She drinks it, she will die. Science does not answer the question, should you put poison in Grandma's tea, because then she will die, and then you get the inheritance. That is an ethical question. Science does not answer the ethical question. So it's a different field of knowledge from ethics. Science is very important. Don't put poison in Grandma's tea because you will kill her. It does not answer the ethical question. In light of all the money that she has, should you kill her in order to get her money? That's an...
All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'll put the link to this video in the description. I just want to see him kind of walk off and not shake Cliff's hand. We'll see where that's at, because let's see. Here it is. Shake my hand. All right, we got this. Let's see.
Man, it's been good talking with you. I can't thank you enough. You don't want to shake my hand? All right.
Because you're just a
Oh, you want, wait, quick
professional
response.
debater.
Quick,
I'm not a
quick
professional
response.
debater.
Quick response.
I'm an atheist. Are you an atheist?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm an
You're just
atheist.
a professional debate lord. You just come out here every day.
It's tricky because it's all a belief system, right?
Sir, you stepped out and started talking, and you have every right to do that, and I thank you for doing
No one's
that.
walking past you all the time.
Well, you feel free to walk past me. It's just fine.
So
You can do that.
Listen, here's the thing, you guys. We need to be praying for this man, because I think that he's a little bit embarrassed. That's probably why he didn't shake Cliff's hand. But with this type of setting, it can both be good, and there can be some good and bad in there, right? So all these people, like, you notice this girl, you heard a few laughs, this guy, they're laughing. Maybe they're not laughing at him, but it seems to him probably that they are laughing at him, right? Because he had this blow up, and you know, it seems like they may have been laughing at him, and that could just push him further away from the truth, you know. And I pray that doesn't happen, because when you're on your shield like that, that's when you're at, like, your pride is at its highest, right? And you don't want to lose a debate. That's the thing. But when you're in front of that many people and you lose a debate like that, he's feeling tense, and he's angry, he's upset. That's why he didn't shake Cliff's hand. But then the laughs that come afterwards are just like the nail in the coffin that just makes him even more mad and makes him even want to separate more from Christianity. So this is my encouragement. If you ever go to one of these speaking things or anything that Cliff does, show love to that atheist that's wrestling with these tough questions, because obviously God's softening him a little bit, if he's coming up to Cliffe and asking him questions, right? So my encouragement, guys, show love in everything that you do, because that reflects God, guys. That reflects God. When you show love and compassion for these people instead of laughing at them, it just it shows so much tremendous. It sets us apart. At the end of the day, it sets us apart from normal society that would laugh, that would make jokes, that would talk some type of way to this guy. It sets us apart, and that's how people see the good within us, right? Is to see us set apart from the rest of the world. But guys, let me know your comments down below. I hope that you all have a blessed Sunday, and we're coming up on Thanksgiving. I hope that you guys have some good food, and guys, I love y'all, and we'll catch you in the next reaction. Bye. Boop.